Hey guys, the Mahano here, and this is another Call of Duty Black Ops video. I'm on the map Studio, which is a remake of Firing Range. I do pretty good in this map using the MSMC, but I'm not really here to talk about the gameplay. I'm going to talk to you about the MSMC. I'm going to tell you what I use in my class and what I think is pretty good. Anyway, right, I think that, well, this is what I use. Guns that look good, that they look good, I seem to do better with, and ugly guns I just seem to do rubbish with. And I reckon MSMC is a really beautiful gun, and yeah, I'm pretty good with it most of the time. Sometimes I'm not. But anyway, let's start talking about my class. I obviously use the MSMC with a camo that I think looks good on it. I'm currently going for gold at the moment, and I'm so close to getting it at the moment where I'm like recording. Well, I'm not at the moment in the video, as you can see. I'm using an old video, but still. I use the wildcard primary gunfighter, which gives you an extra third attachment for your primary weapon, which is pretty useful because, like, the attachments I use are like help the gun out a lot. So using primary gunfighter, I can have like another attachment. Right, let's move on to the attachments. I use a suppressor, which it might reduce the range a little bit, but it's not that bad, and it just helps you not get caught on a mini-up. And for some reason, for me, it seems like it helps out with making the gun look better, and it just helps out with damage and stuff. I really don't know why. The second attachment, I use foregrip. That's because there was a patch a few months ago, where the MSMC has like increase in recoil, which really ruined the gun quite a bit and made it, I think they put a bit too much recoil on it. So if you're shooting someone quite far away, it's just going to recoil up and you're just going to miss them. So I used the foregrip just to keep the gun a little bit steady when you're shooting far distances, and it is really useful. The next attachment I use is laser sight, which is, I don't know why I use it. It also makes the gun look good, and it also just, it adds somewhere when you aim, when you're hip firing, and it's pretty useful. I like to use it a lot, and it just helps out where your gun's looking at. Secondary, I removed my secondary so I can add an extra slot for everything else I'm using, considering I'm using a wild card and 3 attachments, which basically I just use combat knife with a camo I have on it. Let's move on to perks. Perk 1, I use lightweight, which just makes you move faster and you don't take no fall damage. So I could just run around. If someone's too close, I could just knife them, or run away from a gunfight when I'm pretty close to dying, which is pretty useful. If you don't really like lightweight, I would advise you to use hardline, which basically just lets you earn score streaks. I think it's 60% faster or 20% faster. I think it's 20% faster. And that's pretty useful too. Perk 2. Right, there's 2 perks that I usually use. Is toughness, which is very useful when you're like getting shot at, because your screen just goes flying everywhere. Or if you're high enough level, use scavenger, because the MSMC runs out of ammo pretty quickly most of the time. Well, it does with me. So with scavenger, I can just easily pick up like ammo and stuff, and I use C4 now, and it helps replenishing that, because I use that a lot. That's pretty effective. Alright, let's move on to perk 3. For my perk 3, I use dexterity, which basically just makes you aim faster after sprinting and climb and mantle faster. It's just easier to get away from gunfights, climb up stuff, And after, I like to run around a lot, so if I get into like a gunfight where I run around the corner, I can easily just quickly pull out my gun and just kill him and win the gunfight. That's half round, I think, or round win. Let's move to my lethal grenade. Right, I used to use combat axe like I'm using in the video, and that was just that I didn't really use that much. It was just useful there, and I got a lot of misses with it. But now I'm starting to use C4, which is really useful because I can just like chuck it in a room when like I run in and just let it explode and like take out like 4 or 5 people in that room. And it's pretty useful, and it's just easy to activate. You can replenish them with scavenger, which I pretty like that. The next thing I use for my tactical, I use a shock charge, which loads of people really do hate them, but I reckon they're pretty useful when you're like at a door or something. You just chuck it down and someone runs through and it just stuns them, so you got time to like turn around and shoot at him. And yeah, it's really useful. So that's basically my class. I'll put a picture right on the screen now, just to show you what my class is like, what you think of it at the moment. I'm so close to getting gold, and I've prestiged it now, so it's pretty useful. Right, I want this video to get 5 likes, and I will upload. I will think this video is like people like little gun videos, and I'll do one of a different gun, whatever you might like a shotgun or I don't know, sniper, and I'll just tell you what I think is the best class. So hope you enjoyed this video. I end up doing 25 kills to 4 deaths, which I reckon was an improvement considering I'm like really rubbish. Anyway guys, see ya, goodbye, have a good time.